Everyone, we are live. Welcome to the virtual desktop experience. I am James Webster, aka HCMJ, proud member of Death's Dynamic Shroud.
I am Tech Honors, also of Death's Dynamic Shroud.
I'm Kevin. You go ahead, Mark.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if we were going counterclockwise. I'm Mark, R23X and VHS stills and video 20XX.
And I'm Kevin, aka Equip.
Alright, so let's just jump right into it here, which is something that you'll hear me say a little bit later when we have a exclusive interview with Japanese future funk superstar kissmenerdygirl. Very, very excited about that. This week, as you can see, we are in one of my personal favorites all-time user interfaces, and this is, of course, the Macintosh OS 7.6, which was the precursor to OS 8 when everything went gray and kind of 3D and kind of weird. This was the end of that sort of Mac classic era. So Mark was making fun of me earlier when we were talking about, you know, the amount of time that we were going to spend on different things today, and he was like, yeah, well, James will talk about, you know, Macintosh for about an hour, and then we'll get to the interview, and then we'll be done. So I'm just going to not do that, but I would like to put Mark on notice. So there are a couple things that you're going to see that are different this week that I'm really, really excited about. Yes, the trash is so full, it's about to burst. I'm going to leave that there just to cause anxiety for our viewership. But you'll see, so we have Exile Escape from the Pit in this window in the background here, which is one of my favorite RPGs that I tried to play as like a kid in the 90s and could not figure out. Doing that little playthrough for the intro video was about as far as I ever got. But there is a new version for the iPad that you can get where it's all isometric and it's actually fun to play. Anyway, Mark's on notice because you'll see on the desktop here is this file here. Hidden messages in R23X songs. Now, folks, I don't know what's in this file, okay? I came across this README, and I'm a little afraid to open it, and I know that. Go ahead.
The truth is that James is like running on zero sleep, so he's all wacky right now. I don't know.
It's making me extra entertaining, but I'd like to turn the floor over to my compatriots here before I prattle on anymore. But Mark, you're on notice. Right? And folks, hopefully we might be able to take a look at these later on after the interview. We'll see. So stay tuned.
What's the yellow window with the text? Is that supposed to be like a sticky note thing?
That's a great question, Tech. So yes, indeed, that is the Stickies app, which was it was a big thing that they introduced in Mac OS 7.5, and they're basically just little windows that you could put text into, and they would stay. Even if you left the app, the windows would still be there, which was unique for Mac apps at that time. So it's this is for true aficionados know that a sticky window becomes just a yellow square when you deselect it. So yes, I do have 2 active windows right now. But for the layman, I wanted them to understand that this was indeed a window. So thank you for asking about that, Tech.
Yeah, I was just curious. It's kind of like one of those gadgets on the PC.
Yeah, just like that. One of those fucking gadgets in MS Windows.
So, do you want to tell us about the other widgets on here, or?
Well, it's just this is the Apple Audio CD player that came bundled with all of their operating systems once they started shipping Macs with CD drives.
Bro.
The very first computer that my family ever had that had a CD drive was the Macintosh Performa 550, and it used the caddies. Super old people will remember that you had to put a CD into a plastic tray and close it, and then insert this weird plastic disc with a CD-ROM inside of it into a computer. It was actually kind of sick. I listened to the Jurassic Park soundtrack a lot when I was in elementary school. That is something that I would see often in this audio player interface here.
And I wasn't trying to put you on blast. I really genuinely am impressed by the interface and wanted to hear you talk about it. I was just making fun of you.
Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, and right now we're in a QuickTime 2.5 window, which just to bridge the gap here, bringing it back to Jurassic Park for fans of Jurassic Park, and of course Nedry's incredible Quadra 700 Macintosh that he has in that film. There's a point where he's on a video call with the guy at the dock who's like, "Oh, the boat's leaving at 8 p.m. You better get down here." And even when I was like a little kid, like watching this in the theater, I'm like, dude, he's just watching a QuickTime movie, because you can straight up see like this bar moving while he's talking to the guy. It's like Steven Spielberg made this. Like, Jesus Christ, did these?
I remember that too.
Do adults use computers? Like, holy shit!
Suspension of disbelief.
It was a Unix system.
Yeah,
Was it a Unix system?
They had SGI workstations. That's what she's using,
Right.
which looks very similar to the Mario 64 menu, because they just used the built-in UI that came bundled with it, which is kind of funny. But enough about vintage PCs. Equip, how are you doing today, Kevin?
Yeah, I've been a little bit better. I had a series of bad events happen
Kevin had the
today.
worst. Yeah.
But one of them is about upcoming merch, so I can't get into detail. But basically, a package was misdelivered today, in like the worst way possible. Like the seller or the shipper put the wrong address on the package, and I actually went to the address that was there, and the people that lived there were very nice, but the package was not present there either. So. Yeah, I'm dealing with DHL.
Truly cursed Equip.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
really sorry about that. And I hope that tonight's stream will lift your spirits a little bit.
Yeah, I'm already feeling a little bit better.
That's good. And of course, we'll all feel better when we finally get to the bottom of whatever craziness is going on in this README. So stay tuned for that. There's
I don't really want to know what's in there.
There's some talk in
really
here.
Nervous now.
You ought to be, and you're not the only one. There's one other box in here is also on notice, but we'll be getting to that in a bit. There's some chatter in the text box here about our backgrounds. So yes. Sephi Starshine successfully identified Balam Garden as
yes, you're
Kevin's
correct.
backgrounds. We all know that, of course, Tech is rocking Midgar. Mark, would you like to talk about a little bit about what's behind you?
This is the Black Omen from Chrono Trigger. I don't want to spoil anything, so just if you know it, you know what's up.
I don't.
Yeah.
So
well, I don't want to explain it because it's kind of a huge part of the story. I don't want to get into detail, but I recommend that game. I just recently beat it. I used cheat codes and just played the entire thing, and it was great.
Nice.
So, of course, behind me is a view of Limsa Lominsa. For fans of the show who listened last week, you'll know that I am back on that Final Fantasy 14. Whatever, the little bit of free time that I have, catch me and Murmur hanging out in the fields of La Nasia outside of the pearlescent towers of Limsa Lominsa. So let's talk a little bit real quick about Kiss Me Nerdy Girl before we get into the interview. So yeah, I was first made aware of Kiss Me Nerdy Girl on the first Neo Gaia Phantasy Tour.
Same.
And they're and at first I thought that they were just like a DJ, and I didn't realize that they were actually like this future funk artist who was actually really making waves in Japan right now. And they've allied themselves with Big Wave, which is another really sort of big future funk act that's going on in Japan. So we were super excited to have them at the Circus Tokyo show at the last Neo Gaia tour. He had pink hair at that show, which was very, very cool. But what color his hair is tonight, you'll have to wait and see. I'm just going to pop into...
Did a really cool remix of Negative Gemini's Bad Baby that you should check out.
He also did a remix of Don't Be So Humble. He did a remix of Equip and R23X.
That's right.
The airship song.
Yeah, I'm starting to forget. It was so long ago.
Yeah, I thought you were saying
I feel like January was like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, when I first met...
have a distorted perception of time.
Oh, yeah.
No, I thought that you were saying that he did a cover or a remix of a song called Don't Be So Humble. Which
he did a cover of Kendrick Lamar's "Humble." Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, nice.
That very
he
first
did not.
show we
That's
played,
not true.
That very first show that we played with Kiss Me Nerdy Girl, he had pink hair, but he also had a checkerboard pink crossbody bag and the Nike official Vaporwave shoes as well. He just he had the drip, some kind of serious drip, drip going on. So
yeah.
I remember being really blown away by the outfit.
That was the last show of the 2018 tour at in Shibuya, the 7th floor.
Oh, we got Kiss Me Nerdy Girl in the chat right now.
Hey.
Dropping hearts, dropping bombs.
Nerdy Girl.
Can we get Kiss Me's in the chat? Can we see some Kiss Me's?
Kiss Me's for Kiss Me Nerdy Girl.
Kiss Me's for Kiss Me Nerdy Girl.
3 wet lips for Kiss Me Nerdy Girl.
So now that we're here in browser mode, now you might think, okay, what's new? What's cool? I need a handbook to help me navigate this new world of the World Wide Web. I need to do some net searches. You know, I need to find Sandra Bullock nude or whatever people search for in Netscape 2.0.
Do you remember at the Dombune show, DJ Bad Boy had a Netscape Navigator 4.0 shirt on?
Oh, fuck. I do remember that now. I had forgotten until this moment.
That was DJ Bad Boy, right?
Yeah. He also had a crazy, like, mouse...
And the little kitten mask
thing. Yeah, it was really, really cool. Because I remember I told my mom, like, hey Mom, I'm on this really cool live stream in Japan. You should watch this morning. And then she like sent me a picture. She's like, is this what I'm supposed to be watching? And it was like DJ Bad Boy in the like crazy like outfit. I'm like, yeah, Mom, it's cool. This is just it's a cool electronic show. But I would like to take a look here. I wonder if I take a look at this directory. Let's see. Oh, reveal text secrets, huh? Wow. Should I move my hand off of the mouse button and reveal text secrets? Should I, folks?
I can't believe that you're the one who gets to control this all every time.
I don't know. Yeah, we got hot Shanya's. Let's see hot Shanya's. Hot Shanya's in the chat to reveal text secrets.
Dishonored.
We're gonna. For now, you're safe.
Well, I will say I'll reveal one of my secrets right now. I'm supposed to. I'm in charge of the weekly playlist that's supposed to update every Tuesday on Spotify, and I didn't do it this time. I messed up. So if you guys want to give me your picks, Kevin did a good job. He sent me his picks.
I sent my picks. I sent picks.
Mark says he sent his picks, but the jury's still out on that.
I swear I did.
James, however, no way.
Yeah, I could just tell you I'll tell you the last 3 songs that I listened to, and it will. You're not going to be happy about it. You're not going to be happy about it.
While we're in the interview, I think we have plenty of time to put together the playlist.
Yeah. So here, let me pull it up here. Oh, and you'll see this URL here, neogaia.tv. This is a beautiful URL that's always open that allows you to support us and support the stream and this kind of amazing content. As you can see, I spent too much. I don't know why. I just did. I think it's just OS 7.6 does something to me, but I just couldn't stop. And then once I had I used ResEdit to hack Netscape so I could put tech secrets into it, and I don't think the stream's ever going to be the same. So yeah, neogaia.tv, always live. Our hands are always open, and so are our hearts.
In addition to your time, too, tonight will actually be the first practical use of the donations because we use them to hire a translator to do the Kiss Me Nerdy Girl interview. So that's we're actively using the donations to create more content for the stream.
That is a great point. So yeah, it's going to be a really interesting, this interview, because it is conducted with a translator. So we ask our questions, we have a conversation, but there's a translator between us, and we're giving you the full uncut. You're going to hear all the Japanese. If you're learning Japanese, it'll be a great way to hear how a professional translator takes the English language and turns it into an interview, and hear Kiss Me Nerdy Girl's words turned into English professionally. It's really interesting, really cool.
Our friend that did the translation, Josh, he did the translation as well for the Neo Gaia Legend, the movie documentary, and his partner Megumi provided one of the voices for. I don't remember if it was for Suit ACA or Hitachi, but they were both too shy to provide actual appearances. So Josh has already helped us out quite a bit, and he also, if you watch the documentary, you'll know that he helped book us a bunch of shows in the Kansai region, in Osaka and Kyoto and Nara while we were out there. So he's a valuable addition to the Neo Gaia crew.
Yeah. And an all-around nice, cool guy,
He also, I left the only time that I went to Japan, when I left, I left all the stuff that I had bought in my hotel room, and I was like, no, what have I done? Josh ended up being super awesome, and he was able to hunt down the objects and ship them to me.
Folks, we just got a donation, but I was unable to see it.
Dang it!
It should be working now, but whoever that was, we'll figure that out, and we'll let you know. So getting back to the matter at hand, Tech, I rode my bike to the Japanese house today, and it's sort of towards the end of, I feel like the quarantine is ending for me in a lot of ways, because I'm going back to work, because I work in a Japanese garden. We've been given permission by the city to open as a park amenity with social distancing and capacity control. And so the days of just waking up whenever and, working from home have come to an end for me. So it was a little, as my mother would say, like being let out of prison. And I gripped the handlebars of my bike, and I put in my earbuds, and I listened to In the Meantime by Space Hawk.
Not familiar with that one.
It's
I probably heard of it.
Yeah,
it was a big hit.
Yeah,
in the 90s,
it's
mid-90s.
Bowie wannabe glam rock, but like from the mid '90s. So like the production is just god awful. Like
yeah, but that song rules.
The song is amazing. It has that chromatic passing tone. Like it's fucking incredible, and like the end really goes in. Like
and like his vocals the whole time are like.
Space Hawk.
Space Hog.
Space Hog.
Hog
Yeah.
with the G.
And then the end has this real hard, like chuggy, like dan dan chicka chicka dan dan chicka chicka dan dan chicka chicka dan 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 dan. It's really it's not that good, but damn,
it's kind of.
It was like and I'm just like so free, and the wind is blowing across my scalp, and I can just smell the air and feel the freedom.
It's going on the playlist.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
I guess I didn't send you my tracks.
You've already given me 2 more reasons to worry about you, because A, you bike in earbuds, which is extremely dangerous, and B, you said you feel the wind on your scalp, so I'm assuming you're not wearing a helmet either.
Right on both counts, my friends. If it makes you feel any better, it's all back streets, one-way back streets.
It doesn't make me feel any better.
You know,
I urge you to be safer.
James lives on the edge. Is that the other song you had?
Living on the edge. No, but I was singing "Living in the Fridge" earlier to myself when I found a bag of spoiled veggies tucked away in the back there.
Living in the fridge.
Yeah. So that was my first song. Tech is
okay. In the
Meantime by Space Hog from their 1995 album Resident Alien. Which was it was like a passport with like an alien's head on it. It was pretty bad. And then I followed it up with something I talked about recently on Twitter, which was Cage the Elephant's Aberdeen.
Oh yeah,
which is
like
a similar kind of sick fake glam rock song. Only listening to them back to back was kind of incredible, because the production of the Cage the Elephant song from 2011 was like so much better. Like just everything sounded so much more real. It was like episode 3.
We're talking about Cage the Elephant on this stream.
You know, hey, I keep it real. I bring it. But Kevin knows what I'm talking about when I say in episode 3, when they go to Captain Antilles' ship at the end, and it's like the first time you've seen a real set in like...
It's the only practical set in the movie.
Right, yeah, and you see it and it's just like...
Confirmed.
Whoa, holy shit. It's like you putting in eye drops or something, right? That's how it felt listening to Cage the Elephant after Spaceball. But that song, Aberdeen, it rules, man. Like, Tech, if you just...
It's alright.
Like, it's sick.
You played it for me when I was with you in Philadelphia.
I was like, alright. She's a creep. And then finally, There Goes the Fear by Doves, which is a classic.
Ooh,
when the weather gets nice and you want to feel good. Put on The Last Broadcast by Doves and roll down your window or whatever it is that you use and enjoy it. So my 3 picks are all men with guitars. I'm sorry.
All right.
The end.
Well,
and
I'll put those on there.
You know how like you think that a song is hi-fi, and then you go back and listen to it, and you're like, "Wow, this sounds way worse than I remember it sounding." Like Madonna, "Ray of Light." I had a loop from that stuck in my head, and I listened to the whole song, and like the production is just like really, really weird. Like,
I listened to that within the past 2 months. Yeah,
and like it's really muddy, and it just sounds like I don't know. It sounds like a Butch Vig production or something. Like,
was that William Orbit or whoever?
I don't know.
Sorry.
Was William Orbit the one who produced Ray of Light? I'm not sure.
Because I remember he had a sick album of soft synths playing classical music.
Look it up. Look it up in the browser.
Oh yeah. I'm looking it up in my own browser like a dummy here. Let's see.
That song's pretty good though. It still slaps.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was just I totally feel you on the production being kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, William Orbit.
Hey, wow!
James.
I can't believe I knew
Crushed
that. That was crushed. Yeah, it was songs in modern style or some shit is what it was called. Pieces in modern style. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the opposite of that, there's like, an album I thought for sure would be like brick wall compressed and like really terrible sounding. It was Creed's Weathered. I went back and I listened to the entire thing, and it's a really hi-fi production. And like,
spit my cough.
There's a lot of dynamic range in it. Like the drums sound like really like lively and like roomy, and yeah, I think it still slaps.
The production on My Own Prison sucks.
This fucking album cover.
I did
guitar.
that one. I did not read
like
Prison. Oh yeah, that is definitely got to be one of the funniest album covers of all time.
Jesus.
Photoshop 1.0.
In Rail, there is no Creed trick.
What is the Creed trick?
If there was a Creed trick, it would just be the singing like this.
Hello, friendly meet again.
Yeah.
You know, it's so sad because like this album cover, it's like pathetic, but it just might be like a Storm Thorkson cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like
real close.
it's like, especially in his later years, like
later stuff.
Like,
yeah.
do you get it? They're all religions and they have blinders on. Like, all right, dude. Yeah, it's cool.
This went too far. Signos definitely went too far.
Yeah, that pushed it. Isn't there? Wait, that's the worst one, right? Because Human Clay is. Yeah, bring up Black Holes and Revelations album.
Yeah, this is what I'm referring to for those
Lord.
not in the know.
Let's see if we can get
There's
a
no there we go.
size.
Yeah. That is Storm Thorgerson, isn't it?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
totally
it
forgot
is.
about that. Did Storm Thorgerson do that?
Religion has the
that's
blinders on.
Yeah, Religion has the blinders and he's looking straight at Money.
And Money
then
is looking at.
But the eyes are just looking in the mirror, I guess.
And then the horses.
And those are
It's got a miniature.
three of the four
picture.
horsemen? I don't know.
Well, that is the question. Where is the fourth? Maybe it's
Yeah.
you, the viewer.
You're the fourth horseman.
What was that one with the big eyeball that he did? That was so bad.
The Cranberries album. Molo, I love Muse as well, and it's I don't believe in guilty pleasures anymore, but they definitely they really toe the fucking line.
Yeah, I love Muse also. Up to this album, I didn't like The Resistance. I did get down on some of that trilemma shit though. That's I did like it.
This album is sweet. Black Holes and Revelations, I think, is good.
Mm-hmm. And you know, we make fun of Storm Thorkson, but he did do this album cover and like
some legendary stuff.
like props to that, and of course, sorry, my fingers aren't working anymore.
The brilliant Yes Tornado.
This was there's a really great not really great, there's just kind of a funny story about how they actually practically hung the pig between the two towers of the power plant.
Wow.
And there was there was a guy on on the payroll with a gun whose job was to shoot it down if it got away, and it did get away while he was like on his lunch break or something.
Wow.
And then there were several reports of like the pig was. This is according to some fucking book I had in the 90s. I don't know if it's true or not, but according to the story of the album in Storm Thorkson's own words, like it passed by like a private jet, and they reported that they saw a flying pig, and then they were like breathalyzed when they landed.
Right.
But they never were able to get it working right with the real pig, so they ended up just airbrushing it in anyway. Like all that trouble for the practical pig. It's like,
did you know that the album cover for Absolution is all practical with the stakes? I swear to God, they went out into this. I watched a video of it. They went out into this stupid oh god, that album cover sucks. It's
does.
like one of my favorite albums of all time.
It
It's
really
such
is a great album. Really, really great.
So all of the stakes that the people cutouts are on have been photoshopped out because otherwise you would see them. But they actually did have these giant like people-shaped things on sticks sticking out of the ground and going way up.
That's cool.
To cast these shadows.
That's pretty cool. Because
Seemed like a little much for this, but
I will tell you, Tech, that when the Zetas fill the skies,
God, those are nerds. The worst Hypnosis album cover for me has to be the Scorpions' Animal Magnetism. That one is just like,
oh no,
absolutely appalling. And we gotta pull it up.
Yeah.
So I can't spell that.
Oh, I've seen this in stores. Oh god.
Pretty sure this was like a smell the glove type moment here.
Like,
oh my god.
What is on there?
It's just like, this kind of reminds me of that.
So bad.
It reminds me of that Degas painting, where it's like the man standing in the doorway. Hold on, let me.
Hey, thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Maine so I can search for this without everyone saying this. I have to try to remember.
How about Roll the Bones by Rush? Is that a Hypnosis cover?
Oh, there, I found it.
Okay.
It's called Interior, right?
No, Potato Toaster Cat, you did not miss the interview. Potato Toaster Cat.
So when should we air the interview? And like,
yeah, in a couple minutes here.
So we got a good amount of people.
Yes. Yeah, this is one of my favorite paintings ever. It's a Degas who normally just like painted like ballet girls and shit.
Mm.
But then he does this piece and it's just called Interior. But like,
really
what
dark.
the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, what is this situation? Like, wow. There's just a lot to visually read here. It's a very kind of cinematic composition. What was the other cover you were talking about, Kevin?
I'm not sure if it's Hypnosis
Rush Roll the Bones.
Rush Roll the Bones. That's like really also kind of a comically bad album cover.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh,
What's up with prog rock album covers having like kids on the cover? There's too many of them.
Yeah, and U2 also did that.
Yeah.
Wait,
are those all dice?
That's really fucking stupid. Oh, but what do the numbers mean? It's like 6 and then 5, and it's just like... It's so fucking bad. I'm sorry, I do not like Rush. I don't care who knows. Not a Rush fan. Doesn't age.
Shroud does not endorse
Fly by Night slaps. Absolutely rules, and I feel like you would like it.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
It's like I don't know. Like there's so many things that stood the test of time. That why should we bother with things that don't? You know, it's like if I could listen to Yes, why would I listen to Rush?
I was just gonna say something like that. I don't have a lot of knowledge in this realm, but I really like Yes.
It's one of those things that I didn't realize until like working at a record store. Like I always hated Rush, and I always thought that their shit was like too bloated and overblown. And I also had that same like, why would I listen to that when there was like King Crimson, Pink Floyd, Yes, but then like somebody put on Fly By Night at the record store, and I was like, oh my god, is this Rush? I love this.
My homework is I will listen to it before the next stream. All right, and then we'll talk about it on the air. We'll go track by track.
It's back on their pure, you know.
But Mark, Rush is Canadian, right? They're all Canucks, aren't they?
Yeah, I get that a lot when when people run out of things to say to me or the conversation stales. They just like, hey, this thing is Canadian.
Oh man,
like Mike Myers or something like that. It's awesome.
Mike Myers fan, aren't you?
Well, actually, this reminds me of a fun Canadian Mike Myers related thing. Yesterday, I was for some reason watching some Wayne's World clips, and my good friend Glenn taught me this about Aurora, which is Aurora, Illinois, which is the setting of Wayne's World, obviously. There's a place called Stan Mikita's there. It's not a real restaurant, but it's based on Tim Hortons, which is our Canadian coffee shop. It's like our Dunkin' Donuts, named after a hockey player. But he didn't think anybody, or maybe couldn't get the rights or something, but they changed it to be called Stan Mikita's. And it's supposed to be based off of Tim Hortons.
I see. So I got to tell you, Mark, I have a Canadian friend that I work with. And every time he visited his family, he'd come back with and have Tim Hortons coffee and be like, "Look, I brought Tim Hortons." Like, dude, we had Tim Hortons in Dayton. Like, everyone has Tim Hortons, don't they?
Yeah.
Do you have Tim Hortons in Chicago, Kevin?
I think it's just like huge in Canada.
But I've seen them. They're in the Midwest.
Yeah, it's a Canadian brand. Yeah.
It was. Now I think it's owned by an American corporation. But maybe you'll find more about Tim Hortons in that hidden messages document.
I think we definitely will.
It's got the cursive font and like the red background kind of.
I think that all of this coffee talk is a great place to segue into our interview with Kiss Me Nerdy Girl. So everyone, we're just gonna sit on the back burner here, and then you can watch.
We'll make the playlist.
We'll make the playlist while this plays. But please enjoy this exclusive interview. All right, so for the first time ever in the virtual desktop experience, we have a very special guest. So joining us all the way from Chiba in Japan, we have Kiss Me Nerdy Girl, an amazing future funk artist, DJ, electronic musician, who we've had the pleasure of playing with several times on the Neo Gaia Phantasy Tour. And also translating today, we have Josh Stefane of Muzon Editions, who anyone who has seen the Neo Gaia Legends film knows that he had a huge role in helping us get a lot of shows set up in the Kansai region, and also played with us on the tour, and his label is also amazing. So thank you both for joining us so early in the morning this evening.
朝早く起きていただいてありがとうございました。
こちらこそありがとうございます。
Thank you for having me.
So yeah, why don't we just dive right into it? So why don't we start by just Kiss Me. How did you get started in music? And why don't you just talk a little bit about your project?
ではもう今日は、最初の質問なんですけど、じゃあ、キスミナさんはもう、どうやって音楽を始めて、今の、その音楽のプロジェクトに、作るようになったのかをちょっと、話していただけますか？
はい、FL スタジオというソフトウェアを買ったのが10代の頃で、
はい。
最初はクラブミュージックを作ろうと思って、アーミン・バンブーレンとかトランスみたいな音楽を作ろうと思ってたんですけど、ある時自分が同じようなメロディーしか作れないことに気がついて、でちょっと音楽をやめたんですけど、でその時サンプリングというやり方に気がついて、でちょうどそのフューチャーファンク、ベイパーウェイブっていうのを知ったのが、4年ほど前、はい、でそこからずっと今のスタイルでやってます。
はい、ありがとうございます。
はい。
So when I was in my teens, I got the FL Studio kind of sound design software for my computer, and I was really interested in making club music at that time, kind of music like Armin van Buuren, sort of trancey music, and I did that for a while, but I realized after making it for a few years that I kept returning to the same melodies and really just kind of repeating myself and repeating what other artists were doing. And I actually stopped making music for a little bit, just not really feeling inspired by anything. And that's when I really discovered sampling music and using samples. And from there, my interest in samples took me to genres like future funk and vaporwave. And really, that was about 4 years ago. And since then, I've been doing this current project, so Kiss Me Nerdy Girl.
Can you tell us a little bit about your label, Pink Neon Tokyo?
レーベルのピンクニオン東京についてちょっと教えてもらえますか？
ピンクネオン東京は、ツイッターで、三日月ビッグウェーブっていう人が、日本でフューチャーファンクのコレクティブを作りたいというようなことを書いて、それを真に受けて、僕とネクラダイヤルという人が、じゃあ一緒にやろうって言って、で、まあ、だいたい1週間ぐらいで、まあ、イメージとか、サウンドクラウドを作って、で、それでまあ、一回最初、国内のフューチャーファンククリエイターを全員集めて、コンピレーションを作りました。まあ、その、国内のアーティストはその時9人とかしかいなかったんですけど、まあ、それで作って、カセットテープとか作って、で、今は半年に1回パーティーをやるようにしてます。
はい。So the label kind of started from an inspiration from working with someone on Twitter named Mikazuki. 何でしたっけ？三日月
ビッグウェーブ。
Mikazuki Big Wave with someone with the handle Mikazuki Big Wave, who was interested in starting up a future funk collective, and kind of taking inspiration from that. Me and another person I was familiar with, Necrodile, we decided to kind of after having the idea within about a week, we decided we were just going to take this idea of a collective future funk and run with it. And we made a SoundCloud account, and we started looking for all the future funk artists we could find within Japan. And we decided to make a compilation with them. And at the time, we could really only find 9 people. So it clearly wasn't a huge genre, or at least it didn't have a huge online presence at the time. And that was the first compilation. And since then, we've been putting out material about every 6 months.
I was going to ask, does it seem like future funk has grown a lot since then in Japan?
その頃からフューチャーファンクは結構、まあその最初に比べたらかなり大きくなりましたか？それともどういうふうに、そのシーンは、変わりましたのか？
そうですね。フューチャーファンクのフューチャーファンクを好きな人っていうのが、なんだろう。まあ、2015年から16年に好きだった人は、まあ、今あんまり聞かないっていう人も多いかもしれない。でも、パーティーをやるたびに、まあ、大体は、お客さんが増えてるのを感じるので、なんだろう、フューチャーファンクを知っている人は確実に増えていて、でもまあ離れた人もかなり多い。だからまあ、なんだろう、まあ知ってる人は増えてる。っていう感じですね。
じゃあイベントで、まあその初めての人とかもたくさん、現れたりします？
そうですね。まあ、ピンクネオン東京のパーティーは多分一人でもすごく来やすいパーティーになってるので、初めてパーティーに来たっていう人は結構毎回いらっしゃいますね。
なるほど。はい。So regarding the number of people who know about future funk and who like future funk, I think that's definitely increasing. That's without a doubt. But interestingly, a lot of the people who were really into future funk and who came to like events and things that we were doing in 2015 and 2016, a lot of them have disappeared and they've moved on to other things, or they've just left the scene for one reason or another. Despite that, at the shows we put on, every half year, we always see new people and new faces. And so it's clear that, more people are learning about future funk, but there's also a little bit of, changeover as people move on to different musical scenes. Gotcha. And I think the shows that we put on are very easy to come to by yourself. So we notice a lot of people who just want to come and listen to a new kind of music. And there's not a lot of like localism or sort of scene barriers for that.
In addition to the music stuff, you also started making clothing over the past few years. Do you want to tell us anything about what inspired you to start your Weird Fuku brand and create the anti-future future funk clothing that I have bought some of and am a fan of?
音楽の他に服も作ってますよね。そう2つのウィアード服とアンティフューチャーファンク、アンティフューチャーフューチャーファンク、のブランドがありますけど、そしてマークは、その服を実際に買ったことがあるみたいなんですけど、それを、するインスピレーションとかきっかけとか、についてちょっと教えていただけたら。
最初は立ち上げた当時は、他の有名なブランドをパロディして服を作るということが結構多くて、例えば、ユースマシーンっていうブランドとか、他にちょっと思いつかないんですけど、そのようなブランドのやり方が好きで自分もやってみようって思ったのと、あとそのフューチャーファンクっていう音楽がフューチャーって言ってるけど実際音としてはレトロな音を使ってるっていうことに対する皮肉という意味合いも込めてああいった服を作りましたね。
はい、ありがとうございます。So when I started the brands, my initial idea was to kind of do a kind of parody of a lot of other famous brands that were kind of taking what they did, very seriously as like high fashion. And so, for example, like News Machine was a popular brand at the time. I can't really remember the other brands that I was thinking of at that time. And the connection with future funk has always been that despite the name of future funk, a lot of the music and a lot of the imagery that are accompany it are quite retro and from the past. So using that sort of conflict and sense of irony has always kind of informed the kind of clothes we design and the image of the brand.
Yeah.
いい答えだ。
Are you thinking of making any new clothes, or do you have any upcoming releases, or still pursuing that?
今新しい服は作ってますか？期待できる何かもしあったらぜひ教えてほしい。
作りたいと思っているんですけれども、ちょっと最近そのインターナショナルシッピングができなくなってしまってるので、それが
アメリカは特にね。
そうなんですよね。アメリカに何も荷物が送れないので、それが戻ったらちょっとたくさん服作る気になるかなって思ってます。
I'm definitely interested in continuing to make more clothing, but as you're probably aware, shipping internationally now is really tough, and especially with America, which basically won't accept any airmail packages. It's really tough to get something new going without without customers from a lot of countries being able to access it. So maybe when that eases up, I'll be able to start making things in earnest.
Sounds like there might need to be a collaboration with Mark's people and your people. He's making stuff in North America. You guys should hook up.
確かにもうマークの会社とコラボした方がいいかもしれない。マークは会社で服を作ってるので、もしデザインとかコラボができたらいいかもしれないですね。
それはもうぜひよろしくお願いします。
Please, I'd be honored to work on something together.
Oh, we'll definitely make it happen. I think.
ぜひぜひやりましょう。
Well, I think the anti-future future funk design is very popular in America. People were responding to that when they saw it in our documentary.
We saw them, people wearing the anti-future future funk shirts at both Electronicon 1 and 2.
どうやらかなり人気なんですね。そのアンタイフューチャーフューチャーファンクのデザインがエレクトロコンのフェスでもう結構来てる人はたくさんいたので、絶対マーケットはまだ存在してるみたいなんですね。
ありがとうございます。嬉しいです。
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you.
Where did the name Kiss Me Nerdy Girl come from?
Kiss Me Nerdy Girl という名前はどういう由来なんですか？
これはちょっと難しいかもしれないんですけど、
It's a little difficult to explain, but I'll try my best.
僕はこの名前を決めたときに、
はい。
オタクの女の子としかちょっと付き合ったことがないっていうのと、あとその時好きだったラッパーで I Love マコーネンっていう人がいるんですけど、ちょっと彼の名前にもインスピレーションを受けて、Kiss Me Nerdy Girl。僕はオタクの女の子としか付き合ったことがないし、他の人と被ることもない名前だからいいんじゃないかなと思って、その名前にしました。
はい、感じです。So it's a little embarrassing, but basically the name came from the fact that at that time I had only ever dated really nerdy otaku girls. And I really liked a rapper called I Love McCorney. And that kind of cheesy, kind of self-referential name really resonated with me. And so when I thought about choosing a name for myself, it just made sense. I don't think anybody else has similar artist names like this. So it worked for me.
Awesome. That's a great answer.
いい感じ。
One of my favorite performances that I saw on the last Neo Gaia Phantasy Tour was the Circus Tokyo show, and you performed with DJ Bad Boy as Port Tower 86, and it was incredible, and we were all just completely just enamored by it. So I was just wondering, where did that project come from, and are there any future plans for that project?
この間のサーカスのライブでDJ バッドボーイとコラボしてライブしましたが、彼とコラボするなんかきっかけとか、そしてこれからの、そのコラボの運動とか、もし何かありましたらぜひ教えてほしいです。
DJ バッドボーイさんはそうですね、僕は東京に実は住んでなくて千葉県に住んでるんですけれども、その DJ バッドボーイさんも実は千葉県に住んでいて、で意外とすぐ会えるような距離に住んでるねっていうことで、しかも音楽も、彼はフィルターハウスというジャンルの音楽を作っているんですけれども、フューチャーファンクとの似てる音楽で、僕もハウスも好きなので、自然と、僕が彼を知って、彼も僕のことを知ってくれて、結構パーティーで、一緒のパーティーに出たりもしていて、で、ネオガイアの時は、確か、バッドボーイさんが僕のことを誘ってくれて、で、B2B で一緒に DJ しようって言ってくれたので、それはもうぜひよろしくお願いしますということで、やりました。これからは、僕は彼の音楽は好きなので、ぜひ一緒にパーティーもしたいし、一緒に曲を作ったりもしたいなと思ってます。
はい。Actually, so I don't actually live in Tokyo. I live in one of the kind of sort of suburb adjacent prefectures called Chiba. And DJ Bad Boy lives quite close to that. And so it's actually really easy to meet up and practice and work on music. And the kind of music that he does is called Filter House. And there's a lot of similarities between that and future funk. And we often met at the same parties. We'd play shows together, although not collaboratively, but we'd play on the same bill. And through kind of meeting each other like multiple times and knowing about each other's music, we became quite close. And then for the Neo Gaia show, actually Bad Boy invited me to play with him. And that was how that collaboration came about. And as far as the future is concerned, I think because we're so close geographically and artistically, I think there's going to be a lot of at least collaborative live performances to look forward to.
Cool. That's amazing. That's really, really great. Yeah. DJ Bad Boy is... Yeah, DJ Bad Boy is another favorite of all of ours. Hopefully we can get him on the stream one of these days because he's a really cool guy.
DJ Bad Boy もかなりみんなが好きなので、もし可能だったらまたここでもインタビューしたいので、ぜひ。
いいと思いますよ。
I think that's a good idea.
Kind of following up on that last question, what are your favorite venues to play in Tokyo? Or just see music?
じゃあキスミナさんは、いろんなところでライブしてあると思うんですけど、東京とか、日本全国でも構わないんですけど、一番好きな、なんかライブハウスとか、なんか箱とか、演奏する側として、何が一番好きなんですか？どこが一番気に入ってますか？
演奏する側として場所か。東京代々木にあるスピンコースターバーというところがあるんですけれども、
スピンコースターバー、
はい、そこはそこまで大きくない場所で、でも音も良いし、そうですね、皆さんの、プレイしてる時にも皆さんの顔が見えるし、すごくお客さんとの距離が近いので、やっていて楽しい場所ですね。
はいはいはい。いいですね。There's a venue in Yoyogi in Tokyo called Spin Coaster Bar. And it's not a very big venue per se, but the sound is really excellent. And you can see the performers, and the performers can be quite close to the audience while keeping their own space. And so that there's that intimacy to the venue that makes every performance there really fun. So it's definitely one of my favorites.
Just kind of as a follow-up, at least in Philadelphia, where I'm from, a lot of underground music, there's like a sort of a network of like house shows, like shows that take place illegally inside of houses, in basements, and other sort of venues that maybe aren't operating, kind of operating in secret. And I was just I'm just curious if there's a similar scene in Tokyo where there are just like house parties and venues that are all sort of DIY like that.
Yeah. ジェームズはもうフィラデルフィア出身なんですけど、そこでもちろんライブハウスはもちろんですが、家でそのイベントやったりとか、あるいはちょっと違法でどっかに忍び込んでどっかの地下室とか廃墟の場所とかでライブイベントをやったりするシーンは、割とあるのですが、東京とかその辺りやったらそういうちょっとアングラの、秘密の、ちょっと、法に反したイベントとかはありますか？
そうですね。そういう場所があるのは聞いたことがありますね、東京でも。でも、おそらく結構、警察がうるさいっていうのと、 そうですね。警察以外にもやっぱり住民が
はいはいはい。
やっぱり音に敏感なところがあるんですよ。でも日本の問題かどうかわからないんですけど、結構街中というのは静かなんですよね。なのでやっぱり違法なパーティーをするのがすごく難しいっていう側面もあるし、仮に地下とかでやっぱり違法な場所っていうのはあるんですけど、あんまり人々が知らないので、パーティーをすることが少ないんじゃないかなとは思ってます。
なるほど。はい。I've heard of some of these parties, and sadly I haven't been able to go myself, but one of the main problems in a place like Tokyo is, number one, the cops are just really strict and persistent when it comes to that kind of crime. And residents are very, very sensitive and quick to complain about sound. And you might have noticed it when you were in Tokyo, but at night the city streets are really, really quiet. So having any kind of music playing in a residential area and having a party is almost impossible. So yeah, finding those kind of not necessarily legal places to hold parties is not something you can really do in Tokyo. And even if people are doing it, they're probably doing it so secretly that even people like me don't know about it.
So it sounds like cool parties.
知りようがないです。
Underground.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, as a DJ, you do seem to be an avid music collector, so we're all pretty curious about your favorite spots to dig for vinyl, whether it's in Tokyo or Chiba or anywhere in between, really.
DJ として、皆さんは音楽の見つかり方とか、探し方、とか、特にバイナルをどうやって見つけるのかっていうのがすごく気になっているので、もしそういう、気に入ってる場所とか、なんかレコードショップとか、そういうのがありましたら、ぜひ教えてほしい。
僕はですね、あまりお金がないので、ハードオフという名前のリサイクルショップに
みんなうなずいてる、みんな。ハードオフ。
毎週行ってるかな。
そうなんですね。
あとレコードショップだと、コロナになる前だったら、そうですね。レコファンっていう渋谷とか秋葉原にある大きな中古のレコードショップ。新しいレコードが欲しい場合は、ディスクユニオンの他に、結構インターネットで買うんですけど、ニュートーンレコードっていうお店、あとストラーダレコーズというお店だったり、結構、なんて言うんでしょう、店まで行っても在庫がないっていうのはたくさん起こるので、結構インターネットで買ってしまうことが多いですね。
なるほど。So I don't have a lot of money, so I can't go to regular record shops all the time. So the solution to that is hard off. And obviously it's a kind of a recycle shop here in Japan, and I probably go there every week just to see what they have in the bins, because it won't last long. And if I do go to a record shop, there is a record shop in Akihabara called Recofan, Record Fan, and that's a good one. But they tend to be more expensive, and a lot of times they won't have stock. So I often just buy records on the internet. So I'll go to shops like New Tone Records, which is a net shop that has a really good selection, and Strata Records, another that has a good selection. And when I shop there, I can just be guaranteed that the thing that I'm looking for is either there or not. I don't have to worry about walking to a shop and not finding anything.
We're all fans of Hard Off here, so.
So みんなハードオフの大ファンです。
僕もハードオフが一番好きなお店です、日本で。
So Hard Off is my favorite shop.
Yes.
Ours too. But yeah, so obviously the coronavirus has affected a lot. In America, there have been no shows or concerts for months, and it's unclear when we'll be able to have shows and concerts again. So, how has that affected your life as an electronic musician and DJ? Or are there starting to be smaller shows in Tokyo again?
すごいタイムリーなことなんですけど、今コロナウイルスの、パンデミックが流行ってて、アメリカではもう多分あれこれ5ヶ月ぐらいはもうそのライブとかパーティーとかもうほとんどやってないので、いつやるのか、いつそういうイベントが開催されるのかは全く未定なんですが、東京ではライブをする側として、DJ とかエレクトロニカアーティストとしてどういう影響を受けたのか、そして、日本、東京では、パーティーの状態はどうなってるのか、また再開し始まってるのか、それともまだ完全にストップしてるのか。
僕が受けた影響、アーティストとして受けた影響は、そうですね。まず、パーティーに僕が最後に出たのが3月だったかな。で、それ以降はもうすべての、出演の予定がキャンセルになりまして、今はもうこの先、パーティーに出る予定は1個もないです。で、ただ最近そうですね、今週くらいから、小さな規模のパーティーとか、バーで少し音を出すくらいのパーティーというよりは、パーティーまで行かないけど、みんなでちょっとお酒を飲むくらいの集まりは、最近は再開されてるみたいですね。ただやっぱり大きなパーティーとか、大きな会場でのパーティーっていうのは、しばらくは多分できないじゃないかなと思っていて、ピンクネオン東京のパーティーも本当は、5月にやる予定だったんですけど、それもキャンセルにしまして、これから先のことは、何もわからないんですけど、小さなイベントを野外、例えば、ルーフトップ屋上とかでやるくらいだったら、少しずつ大丈夫になっていくのかなって思ってます。
いいですね。Because of the coronavirus, the impact that it's had on my life as an artist has been pretty significant. I think the last show that I played was in March, and after that, the shows that I had planned to play were all canceled one by one. We had Pink Neon Tokyo Party planned for May, but that was canceled as well. And at the moment, I have no plans to play at shows for the foreseeable future. Regarding the party scene, it's quite comparable to what is happening in the States. So big parties are pretty much all canceled. But slowly in the past few weeks, small parties and small events have started popping up here and there. And I'll see my friends like having not necessarily parties, but kind of just like drinking get-togethers, with more people than would have been possible a month ago or 2 months ago. I imagine what will happen is that rooftop parties and outdoor parties of pretty small capacity will start popping up more so in the summer. But as for big parties, we really have no idea. So we just have to wait and see what happens. But I'm hoping for the best.
That's too. Not too dissimilar from the way things are going in America. So.
やっぱりアメリカも似たような感じで、なかなかこれからどうなるのかはわからないですね。
そうですよね。
Pretty similar. Following up on your record collecting, I've noticed that you're a pretty big city pop fan. I've also seen it called AOR or light mellow, even. What can you tell us your top 5 favorite albums from that time period?
まあそのレコードの話に戻すと、かなり、シティポップとか、まあいわゆるライトメロとか AOR のジャンルの音楽が結構好きなようなんですけど、もしそういうジャンルの中でなんかおすすめのなんかレコード、まあもしできればトップ5が言えたらぜひ聞きたいです。
そうですね。これは持ってないレコードでもいいですか？
Is it okay if I give you records that I don't own myself?
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
問題ないです。
ああ、
I'll take it.
持ってないのも含めるとね、この90年代の、まあ、ライトメロというか、ジャパニーズレアグルーヴなんですけど、
はい。
プラチナム900、プラチナム900っていうユニットっていうのがいて、まあそこは3枚か4枚しか CD をリリースしてないんですけども、とても、なんだろう、ジャズとかファンクを吸収したポップスになっていて、すごく、このアルバムは、なんだろう、レアなんですけど、本当に素晴らしいサウンドなので、聴けたらぜひ聴いてほしいっていう。
そのプラチナム900はレーブル名なんですか？それともアルバム名？
アーティスト名ですね。
アーティスト。はい。わかりました。
はい。ありがとうございます。すごく素晴らしいですね。あとは、最近買ったレコードは、笠井紀美子っていう人の。
笠井紀室？
紀美子です。紀美子。
紀美子。はい。
はい。東京スペシャルっていうアルバムで。はい。これは山下達郎さんが一曲提供していたり、鈴木功さんという日本のジャズのアーティストが曲を提供しているアルバムですね。
はい。
あとはそうですね。やっぱり浜田金吾っていう人が僕の中ではすごくいいアーティストというか AOR を吸収したシティポップライトメロのアーティストですね。
なんかその彼のカタログの中でおすすめのアルバムはあります？
浜田金吾だとミッドナイトクルージンというアルバムですね。これはまあすごく有名なので聞いたことがあるかもしれないですね。
はい。
あと1枚ぐらいは紹介したいんですけど、これも80年代ではなくて90年代なんですけど、
はい。
アイスという
アイス、
バンドがいまして、ですね、アイスのアルバムだと Truth っていうアルバムがあって、そのアルバムはもう全部好きなんですけど、特にそうですね、その中で Sweetness っていう曲と、Love is Such a Beautiful Thing っていう曲、Big Beat from the City という曲、またその Love is Such a Beautiful Thing のリミックスで Dub is Such a Beautiful Thing っていうのがあるんですけど、それはもうレゲエ、ダブレゲエで、それはもうすごいそのトリッピーな感じでいいですね。僕は好きです。
はい。ありがとうございます。はい。伝えます。All right, sweet. So, first artist I'd like to introduce is someone called Platinum 900. And this is kind of like 90s rare groove, city pop style, where they've taken a lot of jazzy and funky influences and made a really incredible pop music. And they only released 3 or 4 CDs, so they weren't really a long-running unit. But there's someone you should definitely check out if you have a chance. Platinum 900. One of the recent purchases that I've made is by someone called Kasai Kimiko Kasai. And the title of her album that I'd recommend is Tokyo Special. It's quite popular. You might have heard of it because Yamashita Tatsuro has also provided one of the songs on the album. So it's one of the bigger names in that kind of city pop genre. Another artist who I really like, another AOR artist who I really like, is someone called Hamada Kingo. And his album Midnight Cruising is also quite famous, so you might have heard of it, but it's still definitely one of my favorites, and I listen to it a lot. This isn't really an 80s album, but more a 90s one that I don't think a lot of people are aware of, but the artist is called Ice, and their album Truth is really wonderful. There's so many good songs on it, like Sweetness and Love is Such a Beautiful Thing, Big Beat from the City. And there's a remix track of Love is Such a Beautiful Thing called Dub is Such a Beautiful Thing, kind of like a reggae dubby track. And it's really trippy and very unique. And yeah, that's another one of my favorite records that I like to play.
Awesome. Thank you. We've got some new stuff to look up.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
We're all taking notes here. That style of music, city pop, has become really popular in like a massive way, I guess, nowadays, even in the US. And how do you feel about maybe it's become popular in part from YouTube playlists and stuff like that? How do you feel in general about city pop revival?
シティポップは、日本以外でかなり、人気に、なってきたっていう傾向は、この10年ぐらい、ありますけど、この、なんかシティポップ復活みたいな、そういうトレンドについてどう思いますか？日本では、似たような感じなんですか？またなんか人気になってますか？
そうですね。確かに日本でも人気になってきているし、僕は個人的には、おそらくアメリカとか海外で流行してから僕も好きになったので、そうですね、昔から聴いてる人がどう思ってるかわからないんですけど、個人的にはたくさんのレコードがこの流行のおかげでリ収されたし、iTunes や Spotify などで配信もされたし、個人的にはすごく助かってるんですけど、日本に限って言いますと、日本では今シティポップっていうその言葉がそのすごくビジネスに利用され始めてるなっていうのをすごく感じるので、ちょっとそれはなんかなんだろう、別に気に入らないというわけではないんですけど、なんかちょっと本来のって言ったらかな、なんだろうな、僕がシティポップだと思っている80年代や70年代後半の音楽と、そのなんか一緒に聴く人は、なんだろう、一緒に聴いてしまうということはちょっと僕にはできないので、なんか利用されてるというか、ビジネスとして使われてしまっている状況はちょっと残念かな。
そのビジネスとして使われてるっていうのは、なんかその CM とかそういうようななんか宣伝のための感じなんですか？
そうですね、シティポップという言葉をつけたり80年代風音楽っていう風に、曲をリリースしてしまうと、そうするとそれが目に留まって、誰かが聴いてくれるだろうという風に思っている人が多いかもしれない。
わかりました。
はい。
So, yeah, definitely city pop is much more popular now than it was a few years ago, and I'm sure it's not as popular as it was when it was actually being released, but still as a revival, it's quite strong. In my case, I only started listening to it after it became big in the US, so it was kind of like a reverse import for me. So I'm quite grateful to the fact that, foreign listeners, picked up on that and kind of brought it back to the attention of listeners again. However, I'm not really sure how old fans of city pop, when they were listening, people who were listening to like Yamashita Tetsuro in the 80s, how they feel about this revival. But for me, thanks to its new, boom in popularity, a lot of really great records that I would have never had a chance to listen to are available on iTunes and on YouTube. And there's been a lot of great discoveries that I've made because of that. The only thing that I can say that something that I don't really like all that much is how the title city pop, or like the label city pop, is kind of used in kind of in a businessy way, kind of as a marketing gimmick. The idea that if you're making music and you put city pop as the label of it, that people will kind of see that, and that will be the reason they sort of focus on it, despite the fact that it's maybe not necessarily related to city pop at all, but it's just kind of a tag that some people are using to get more attention for their music, which isn't bad in itself, but I've had a few disappointing experiences when listening to music that has that label.
I will say that on the last Neo Gaia tour, I stayed in a guest house in Kamakura, and there was an older couple that was staying there that were probably young when city pop was first new. And when I told them I liked Japanese music, and they asked me what I liked, and I said, like Yuming Matsutoya and Maria Takeuchi, etc. And they couldn't believe that I knew who those people were, and we listened to it all night, and it was really fun.
私、ジェームズは鎌倉のなんかAirbnb で泊まった時に、その旅館で泊まった時に、なんかちょっと老夫婦になんか会って、で彼らは多分そのシティポップが流行った時代に普通に若かったみたいなんですけど、なんかその音楽の話になったら、どんな音楽が好きですかって聞かれて、で日本の音楽が好きですって言ったら、でどんなんってそれに聞かれたら、その松任谷由実とか竹内まりやとか言ったら、もう本当に彼らは全く信じられない、そういうアーティストを知ってることが。だから結構一応彼らをモデルにしてたら、多分その昔のファンも嬉しいかなとか思ってたんですけど、もう朝まで、ずっとシティポップを聴いてた、いい思い出がありました。
いいですね。昔そうですね。皆さんも知ってるかもしれないんですけど、エスペシアというグループがいまして、はい、彼じゃないな、彼女たちはその80年代の風の音楽とか、そうですね、もちろんベーパーウェーブとも接近してたんですけど、彼女たちの音楽は幅広い年齢層に聴かれていたような印象があって、それこそシティポップと呼ばれる80年代の音楽を子供の頃とかに聴いていたような世代の人々とかも、クオリティの高いアイドルの曲を聴いたりはしていたんじゃないかなって思いますね。
So I'm not sure if you guys have heard of the group called Especia.
One of my favorites.
Okay, well, they're kind of
Monari Wakita.
Monari.
So they're kind of making like 80s style like homages to city pop and like high quality idol music that I think would actually appeal to a lot of the old generation that used to listen to that kind of music because of the high quality it is, and it's which might be different than, say, a lot of other sort of city pop homages or inspired groups. But I think as far as Especia goes, I think anybody can really listen to them and enjoy it.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
ジェームズの一番の気に入りだって。
エスペシアは海外でも人気だと聞いてます。
Yeah, I've heard that they're quite popular abroad as well.
I wanted to ask, with streaming services like Spotify and Apple Music, sort of seem like they're shifting to like releasing singles more often, like artists are releasing singles rather than full lengths. And I was just curious how you feel about that, and do you prefer to release singles or like make full length records?
まあ最近のそのストリーミングサービスも、登場で多分アルバムの形式とかいろいろそのリリースの仕方とか、変わってきたんですけど、なんか最近のアーティストではもうフルアルバムじゃなくてなんかシングルを、リリースしたりする人も結構多いなんですけど、まあキスミナさんはどういう形式でなんか音楽をリリースするのが一番ベストなのかとか、自分、個人的にリリース、するのが好きなのか、ちょっと教えていただけたら。
そうですね。僕はアルバムや EP という形式が好きなんですけれども、もし自分で作るっていう場合、まあ、その EP やアルバムに何らかの明確なテーマを作りたくなってしまうんですよね。でなのでその EP アルバムを作ろうと思うとずっとリリースができないくなっちゃうんですよ、僕は。なのでそうですね、個人的にはあんまりその EP を作ろうと思って作ることはあんまりないんですけれども、そうですね、他の人がやる分にはまあでもやっぱりどうしても誰かが EP アルバムを出した時にその EP アルバムのテーマが何なのかっていうのをちょっとものすごく考えてしまうっていうか、期待してしまう、求めてしまうので、まあこれは多分良くないことなんですけどもそうですね、でも Spotify とかなんだろう、ダウンロードじゃなくてストリーミングだったらそんなにアルバムっていう単位にこだわらなくてもいいのかなっていうふうに思ってますね。
なるほど。As for me, when it comes to releasing albums or EPs, it presents quite a big obstacle because I feel like it's important to really consider the theme and the cohesion of the album, before even starting to make the songs, which makes it really difficult and time-consuming to do personally. And even when it comes to other artists, when I'm listening to albums and not singles, I tend to expect more of like a thematic coherence there. And that can either be great when it works, or it can be a disappointment when it doesn't. So I think it presents certain obstacles to creation, obviously, and also to listening as well. But when it comes to like Spotify, and streaming services where you're not actually downloading necessarily and just kind of listening to playlists, I'm not really sure that albums matter all that much, or at least as much as they used to. So I think singles are a fine way to like introduce your music and kind of put it out there in kind of listenable pieces that for people to enjoy.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. I think it's slowly shifting more to being single oriented. Yeah.
そうですね。やっぱりシングルのなんかマーケットになり始まってるので、同感です。
Tech and I love making concept albums, though. Honestly, everyone in this chat, we I don't know, maybe we just all love Pink Floyd or something, whatever it is. We love making albums.
まあでもなんだかんだ言って結構もうみんなこのチャットに参加してる人々はもうコンセプトアルバムとかもうそういう大きなテーマを使ったアルバムを作るのはまあなんだかんだ言って好きなんですけど、なかなか大変ですね。
作るのは僕も好きなんですけどね、作るっていうかなんだろう、テーマを考えるのが好きなんですけど、ちょっとその先の音での表現でちょっとつまずいてしまうっていうところがありますね。
Yeah, I love making concept albums as well, but thinking of, and I enjoy thinking of the themes and the stories behind the music. But then actually making the music is
Yes.
It's a lot of work, yeah.
An immediacy to them. You don't have to sit on the tracks for as long, and you can release them, much quicker after you've made them, which helps you to not get sick of the music by listening to it and trying to sequence the album, etc., etc.
そう、そのアルバム形式だとやっぱりなんか自分の曲をいっぱい順番で聴かないといけないし、なんか聴き比べしないといけないし、多分たまに飽きてしまうこともあるので、そういう意味でシングルを作ることがずっと楽なんですね。
そうですね。
Definitely.
全く同じ。
So, we were just talking about city pop sort of being a bridge between generations. And one of the things that we've been exploring with Neo Gaia is this idea of vaporwave being a bridge between Japan and America and these sort of different cultures and worlds that exist there. So I know that recently you were involved in Vapor 95's online streaming festival. And so I was just wondering, how you got involved in that and what your relationship with Vaporwave has been.
やっぱりコロナのこともあるし、いろんなライブストリーミングのイベントも、我々もこちらでも、やってるので、この番組自体も、そのストリーミングの一つなんですけど、その Vapor95 という、ストリーミングイベントにも、参加することになったみたいなんですけど、そういう、彼らと、組むその経路とかきっかけとか教えていただけたら。
Vapor95 からただ突然メールが来て、何日前だったかな、なんか3日前とか4日前、そのパーティーの本当に直前にメールが来て、できなくはないから出ますよとは言ったんですけどそのメールが来るまでは別につながりは何もなくて、僕は一方的にそのサイトが有名なので知ってたんですけど、彼らも僕のこと知っていたのか。僕でもそれまでは本当につながりは何にもなかったです。
なるほど。はいはいはい。じゃあ結構びっくりな誘いなんですね。
そうですね。本当に突然と言いますか。
Well, it was actually quite surprising to be invited to the event because it happened like 3 days before it went on. And Vapor 95 just suddenly kind of sent me an email out of the blue and asked me if I could join the event, and I said, yeah, I'm sure I'd be happy to join, but it wasn't something that had been planned and kind of thought out a long time in advance. But nevertheless, I was really happy to be included in it.
Cool.
Awesome.
I think we're getting close to running out of time here. So I was going to ask, Kiss Me Nerdy Girl, do you have any interesting projects coming up that you're working on that you want us to know about? Anything in the works, exciting stuff for the future?
でもそろそろ最後の質問に向かってるんですけど、じゃあキスミナさんはなんか今作ってるとかかかってるプロジェクトとかもしあったらぜひ紹介してください。
プロジェクトか。そうですね。なんだろう。リミックス、ですね。僕の個人的に好きな、 国は関係ないけど、ヒップホップとか R&B のアーティストの曲のリミックスを作りためてるっていうのと、あとまあ完全にオリジナルのディープハウスをまあいくつか作ってみようかなと思っているところですね。
なるほどね。じゃあまあそのリリースのメドとかはまだついてないんですか？
そうですね。まだついてないんですけど、そのリミックス、好きな曲のリミックスは、いつになるかな。まあ、サウンドクラウドのフォロワーがある程度増えたらリリースしようかなと思ってます。
なるほどね。はい。So at the moment, I'm actually working on some remixes of some hip hop tracks that I really like, not only from Japan, but from artists abroad. I don't exactly have a clear date as to when I'll be releasing that, but I'm hoping to do it on SoundCloud. So kind of ideally, I'd like to increase the number of followers that I have there so that when I do release it, it can get a little bit of attention. Also, I'm making some like kind of original like deep house tracks as well. Cool. But it's the process is taking a while, and I'm not sure when that's going to be released.
Yeah, I was a big fan of the Negative Gemini remix.
Yeah, that
and
awesome.
She was too. But yeah, it was very, very cool.
Negative Gemini のリミックスはもうすごい素敵だったので、彼女本人もすごい喜んでたです。
Oh, he's wearing the Negative Gemini shirt. He's got.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think that's a good stopping point for us. So, big thank you to Josh for translating. Big, huge thank you to Kiss Me Nerdy Girl for being our first guest on the virtual desktop experience. Guest number 1. It's a very big deal. So thank you for waking up and joining us this evening.
今日わざわざ来てくれて、参加していただいて本当にありがとうございました。もう初めてのゲストになるので、すごい嬉しいです。
いや、こちらこそありがとうございます。本当に翻訳の方も本当にありがとうございました。
ありがとうございます。Thank you guys for having me on. It was such a pleasure to be here. Hopefully I can see you guys again.
And real quickly, where can our viewers and listeners find your work online, Kiss Me Nerdy Girl?
まあ最後に、どこで、キスミナさんの音楽を見つけることができますか？
ですね、僕のサウンドクラウドまたバンドキャンプが一番リリースしている場所なので、ぜひそこからチェックしてもらえればと思います。
はい、ありがとうございます。So my SoundCloud and Bandcamp are where I put up most of my music. So if you can check those out, and I imagine we'll have links available. Okay, so we'll put the links up here. じゃあもうリンクを貼っときますので、ありがとうございます。はい。
Great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
はい、ありがとうございました。
All right, and we are back. We are live once again. So that was Kiss Me Nerdy Girl. Thank you so much for joining us. That was such an awesome opportunity to for Josh to be there and to facilitate that. I mean, we had to pay him, but he's really good. And he's amazing, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, he did it. He did incredibly good. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little strange at first. I never actually conducted an interview or talked to someone at length like that. But I don't know. Once you got used to it, it was almost like there was no separation at all. So
ever.
You've never had a long conversation with anyone before?
Never talked to anybody for
through a translator. You're lucky I don't have one of these readmes for you, Kevin. You're on notice.
Just a good-natured ribbing, that's all.
just a good-natured ribbing. Oh man.
Thanks, Kiss Me Nerdy Girl, for posting links to all your awesome deep cuts and gems and shit.
Yeah, lots of really great content in there. So check that chat log on Twitch or the Restream stream on YouTube or wherever you get your chat for all kinds of amazing links to other artists and clothing brands, and of course, Kiss Me Nerdy Girl SoundCloud. and Bandcamps, which are his main sort of places where he puts out his stuff. So we'll be posting those on Twitter, and they'll be in the Descript once the archive goes live. Okay, let me start the Spotify again here. Sorry, I thought it was a little eerie.
Did we finish the playlist?
Oh yeah,
no,
so I did my
didn't do that at all.
picks, right?
Yeah, you did your picks. So I'll update them. Well, it's here. Why the hell don't I just do it right this second? Oh,
We'll do it live.
Yep.
fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it.
All right,
We'll do it
Space
live.
Hog. In the meantime, let's see. Throw it in there.
I just sent you mine.
Okay.
You don't need to talk about them or anything, but
okay.
I did it. I don't think I did before.
What the
Tech.
James? What was after Space Hog? Oh, that fucking Cage the Elephant.
Yeah, Cage the Elephant.
What's that song called?
Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot. I should have mentioned. Quick side note about Space Hog. I have seen Space Hog live in concert. They opened for Oasis and the Black Crows on the tour of Brotherly Love.
Wow.
In the early 2000s.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait, so you actually saw them?
I did. And they played in the meantime, and it was like fucking sick. Not gonna lie, it was pretty cool. Black Crows, probably the worst band of all time. Right now, because they're bands that
Are they like the
Hey,
the band that did
what you trying to sing?
yeah, he pretty much.
But now, like, what
Is
the
is
fuck
what's that Led Zeppelin ripoff band now? That's like full of like 12-year-olds or whatever. What's that band called? Greta Van Vliet or whatever.
I was gonna say Greta Thunberg, but
Greta Van Bell Bottoms.
Not right.
It's not her.
We get it. The 70s happened.
Cool.
It was
We like
Greta Van Fleet. Yeah, they're the new Black Crows. I think that's.
I seriously like, so in ahead of that concert I was like, well, so the Black Crows are playing. I'm gonna get like Black Crow's greatest hits or whatever, and because you bought CDs back then, and I was like, I'm gonna listen to this, and so I know these songs because I didn't know anything about them.
Oh,
and I just listening to it like, oh
I'm gonna say, well, the Black Crows are playing, so I decided to get blackout drunk. Remember it.
The thing about the Black Crows, and it's this really impressive thing that it's unique to American bands, where they're able to write songs that the song ends, and it's like, did anything just happen? Like,
yeah, it's remarkable. Like,
there are no chords. It's like trying to remember any of the themes from the new Star Wars trilogy. It's like, hum me one theme.
Well, Ray's theme is really good.
Is it? I don't remember it. How does it go?
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
I watched episode 9 on Sunday. Yeah, on Sunday night, and I couldn't tell you a single song that played.
It's
single
except
song.
for the
The problem is, yeah, I mean, John Williams, he really just kind of blew his load in episode 1. Like, Duel of Fates is this magnum opus. Like nothing.
John Williams, did he do all of the new trilogy?
Yeah, he did it all.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
You can't have a main Star Wars installment without John Williams.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I thought that it was like co-composed or something like that, but maybe I'm wrong.
But you can tell, even like when you watch episode 3, it's like, and he tries to outdo the Duel of Fates with this song for the most epic lightsaber battle of all time. But it's like, it's nothing.
It's not as good. And they're teasing, they tease the Korra Ratama in episode 1 several times. Like when Darth Maul appears, like you just hear like Korra in the background.
That's pretty sick.
I didn't pick up on that until like the most recent watching the movie.
What was your third song?
Oh,
what was the one after Aberdeen?
There Goes the Fear by Doves.
There Goes the Fear. That's it.
Let it go.
Updating this in real time.
And I'm like taping my eyes at this point, boys.
Yeah.
We had a joke in high school orchestra class that for like a new John Williams movie, he just takes his old score and flips it upside down and then gives that to the session orchestra.
And I don't want to go off on a rant here. I recently, and we talked about this briefly, I recently watched all 30 hours of the Hobbit bonus making of features.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious because Howard Shore, who's so vastly inferior to John Williams, is like not even fun. Like the Fellowship theme is dope, the Ring theme is dope, the Dwarven Hall music from Moria is dope, but really just a lot of his brush is too wide, and those melodies like you kind of remember them, but it's just he literally phoned it in for The Hobbit. So he wrote the themes, and then some poor schmuck in New Zealand took his themes and had to arrange it for the film that was being made at the same time that the score was being written in real time, because they were doing everything at the same time because no one wanted to make that movie and they didn't have any time to do it. And fucking Peter Jackson with his shoes off, all like, you know, slouched like Jabba the Hutt in his fucking chair, is just like giving real like abstract direction to like this poor guy who kind of looks like the dude from Wilco. Just this
Jeff
little,
Tweedy?
Yeah, Jeff Tweedy. He looks like this little sniveling little Jeff Tweedy motherfucker. And so Peter Jackson will be like, it just needs a bit more kind of, you know, like it needs to be a bit more tingly. And then this Jeff Tweedy guy's like, hey, yeah, I think he wants some, like, maybe to switch the flutes with some piccolos. And then the guy in real time's like, all right, flutes, I'll pick up your piccolos. And then go real hard, pizzicato. And then they'll do it again and be like, was that good? And then Peter's just like, yeah, that's good, I guess. And meanwhile, Howard Shore is off in London. He's written like 8 bars of music, and he's the one who gets the credit. I don't know. I feel really bad for this orchestrator, this arranger.
It's like Rick, you know?
It's like what?
It's like Rick Rubin. You hire him to produce your album, and he like might show up once during your recording session for 15 minutes to like tell one of his underlings like how he'd like the studio to look the next time he might come in.
Yeah, that's definitely how the studio system works. Like Hans Zimmer and stuff like that. It's like you're hiring like a warehouse full of underpaid people to like work in questionable conditions, and then I don't know. I keep seeing ads for Hans Zimmer's masterclass, and I'm just like psyching me out. I don't know. He talks about it too.
Everything's outsourced.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And I told you that I would not be coming back to do more of these movies. I love those movies. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, they're awful. But it's like, and we're gonna have a whole episode devoted to this. But I believe that the Hobbit trilogy is closer to experimental filmmaking as a mainstream art form than anything that we've seen in recent years. And I have a lot to say about it.
It looks like Peter Jackson. I don't know what Uncle Tupelo from Wilco looks like, but that's Uncle Tupelo.
This is Jeff Tweedy. This is it kind of looks like him. Like this is.
So that's wait. Is that Jeff Tweedy?
That is Jeff Tweedy, and,
and
he's literally with the
guy.
real
I thought it was Peter.
I
fucking thought it was Peter Jackson.
No, it is Tech.
God damn it! Why are you lying to me? I don't fucking know what they look like.
Jeff Tweedy never met Gandalf. Gandalf isn't real.
How do you know that?
That's true.
Are you lying to me?
I'm sorry. That was
it's fine.
This is the.
What does Uncle Tupelo look like?
Tupelo is like a band. It's not like the name.
I thought it was a dude. I thought like one guy from Wilco was named Uncle Tupelo.
So
no.
Now I'm just ripping off. Yeah, on Cinema at the Cinema. Tim Heidecker already has the market cornered on pulling up pictures of dwarven faces to just make people laugh. But dear God, like how do you make this decision to be like, that's it? That's what we're going with. Like perfect. See, and it's funny, in those making ofs, there's a moment, like that famous moment where George Lucas is like, and Jar Jar is one of the more comical characters than we've had in the past. It's like the exact same thing. Peter Jackson's like, Nori's a comedy character, so, you know. And he doesn't sound like George Harrison. I'm sorry, I can't do New Zealand. So I just can't do it. Anyway, but yeah, more about that next week. I think that we should definitely. We're almost out of time, and I just can't get into it right now.
29 more hours of The Hobbit behind the scenes to cover.
I swear, that bassoon theme ass looking.
Yeah.
I wanted to shout out a streaming event that's happening on June 21st. It's Rosewood Presents Rise, and it's a fundraising event for the ACLU. And we got a bunch of the Equips picks. Patreon members are kind of helping put it on, including we got Ked, Sev, CompuServe, Dan Soko, Trench Andrew World, JC Era's Young Shiro, Vapor Webshine, and visuals by DS Dude and Chief Leaf and I can't see the font, Hayes. So yeah, that's June 21st at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m.
Can you give me a link for that real quick so I can get away from these dwarves? I feel like I'm not trying to be like irreverent here, but you know.
DS Dude's Twitch. So let's get that in the chat here. Twitch.tv.
Yeah, it's like 2,000 hours of design development. Like, yeah, let's go with the triangles. That's what we should do. Let's put triangles on this motherfucker's head. Let's put 5 fucking triangles on him. Otherwise, the audience won't be able to tell him apart from the other dwarves. Like, God, does it really matter? Like, does it really? Oh, God.
Yeah, wait. Where's the link? Oh, okay.
He's gonna pull up the. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Twitch TV DS Dude 500.
Yeah, so Q, Dan Soko, Lil Liam, and Molo 360 are all involved, so it's going to be a good time.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Yeah, so check out DS Dude 500 on Twitch TV, and look forward to that cool festival with a bunch of Equips picks. And we love Equips picks here at Neo Gaia Fantasy, because when you put food in Equip's mouth, you are putting love into our life, because the food goes in, and it's not too dissimilar.
Oh no!
It's not too dissimilar from Bomber and and the food that he ate. I'll tell you how many hard-boiled eggs he ate in that in the bag end scene next week. So please look forward to that. All right, so I'm about to wrap this up because I am just dead.
Let's get some sleep.
Yeah, that is Brain Death playing in the background. Shout out to those in the know. It's been a DDS has just been on random on Spotify today.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Destiny Shroud song that I made. Fast fact.
Wait, really?
Trivia. Yeah.
Shit. It's not like any of the. Oh, this one's really good.
Yeah, rules.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can hear it, so it's like, yeah, this is good.
I can't, but I know what it sounds like.
But really, not Bay? Bay isn't your favorite? I mean, that's the fan favorite.
That's the one that makes me famous.
Mine was like, he was like, "Oh, are you still streaming on Twitch?" And I was like, "Yeah, every Fridays on 100% Electronica channel, and I'm also doing a podcast on Tuesdays." And he's like, "Oh yeah, with the Death Dynamic Duo." Like he thought that was
the Death Dynamic Duo.
Well,
That's huge.
It's cute because Tech and I were friends since high school, and you guys were friends before you were friends with us. You know, so it's like the vegans versus the meatheads or whatever, you know. But somewhere in the middle we find truth. You know, it's in
soy meat.
In calligraphy, in calligraphy criticism in Japan in the 16th and 17th century, there were 3 terms that arose to describe 3 different levels of formality. There's Shin style, which is, if you can picture a kanji, all the lines are very straight. It's very, very legible. It's very, very readable, like you'd see on an advertisement. So that's kind of a Shin style. And then on the other side of that, there's a very, very loose, free-flowing style that's very difficult for people that aren't familiar with Japanese to even decipher what it is, and that's called So. And in the middle is sort of a loose but stricter cursive called Gyo style. So it's more legible, but it's still kind of cursive. Now, these same concepts are also applied to Buddhist perceptions of reality. So the idea is that after a long period of meditation, you can reach a state of Shin awareness where you can perceive all the details of the universe. Every blade of grass, every drop of dew on the grass, every
like Neo in the Matrix.
Like Neo in the Matrix, exactly, right? But there's also this So perception, right, which is where the details cease to matter. It's like beyond Shin, when you've meditated for so long that all the details disappear and you just kind of perceive the raw energy.
Like Neo in the Matrix.
Like Neo in the Matrix. But just like in the calligraphy criticism, there's Gyo, which is sort of between these 2 perceptions. So the idea is that that's considered perfect perception, where you can see the details and perceive the energy, but in that area in between, you sort of you're getting a more perfect vision of reality than you are on either side of things.
You know, there's a 4th one too.
Is there, Tech? What's it called?
Yeah. I can't tell you about it though. It's one of my secrets.
Well, on that note, I'd say it's time to Gyo.
Oh no! I love that.
Lord.
I love that. And and I did want to say, so I had fucked up and I had something that was weird, and I missed that. Who donated that we missed? You guys had
it was Randochi.
Yeah, Randochi. Thank you so much for your donation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you 100%
Randochi.
Electronica for supporting us on their own platform. We are trying to make the show more entertaining. We want to have more guests. We want to have more translators. We want to have more Windows. We want to have more Macintosh representation. And I told the guys, look, I'm going to keep doing Mac shit until you stop me, and then I don't have to work, So, like, you're not going to get me running Windows 3.1 and being like, oh, this is so cool. Like, no. That's not me. It's not in me. I don't give a fuck. Windows XP can fuck off.
I'll
Bliss.
do Windows 3.1 if I can have a chips challenge window up.
Yeah, 100%. That would be super sick, honestly.
And skeet free.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm getting I'm all tired and opinionated and grumpy. I'm being grumpy, James.
Jazzball.
Jizzball.
Yeah, we used to call it Jizzball. My friend had a PC, and he's like, let's play Jizzball.
That's
All right,
gross.
let's Gyo indeed.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we were 12-year-old boys, so we thought it was funny. Anyway, so Tech, you've been pretty funny. So I think I'm gonna spare you. I don't think I'm gonna reveal your secrets tonight. But I will say that, man, oh man, I really, really want to know what's in this document right now.
I do too.
And I think that our viewers might be interested in what's in here too, right?
I am interested and terrified.
Even if
as
they're
well.
not, I am, yes.
All right, so without further ado, keep your eyes peeled on this screen, because I think it's about to go down. Ladies and gentlemen, in the most stable OS ever created, I am opening this file.
See
Until
you
next
Friday
week.
for more Mother 3.